I'm starting to feel disconnected with Arsenal Football Club. I feel like the club isn't trying. I feel disconnected from the fan base. I'm seeing goalposts being moved from fans. It feels like a real mask off moment for the fan base and the club. I haven't been an Arsenal fan for the longest. I've been an on and off fan, like pretty casual for about, I'd say, 8 years. I'd only, watch highlights now and again. I really, really started to be fully invested about 4 years ago. That's when I really started to stay up. I live in Australia, so I have to wake up at like 1 a.m., 3 a.m. to watch all the games. That's when I started watching all the games. I started really being invested. I started to feel connected with Arsenal Football Club. I started to believe in what the club was doing. I felt connected with the fan base. I think it's probably one of the first times I really felt connected to a team. Even though we weren't winning trophies or anything like that. It was the belief. It was the drive. It was the whole atmosphere behind everything. But now things are different. Last season, we were one win away, one game away. If we won one more game than we did, we would have won the league. One more. And as a collective fan base, I think everyone thought all we need to do is get that striker, probably get a difference maker. Doesn't even have to be a striker. I think everyone was just asking for a difference maker. So we can really stick it to City, get us across the line. The summer transfer window was a disappointment to most fans. We wanted a forward player because we knew we didn't have cover for Saka, and we knew we needed someone in a striking position because Havertz was not reliable, even though he was really good at the end of the season, and Jesus was injury prone. We didn't get any backup for these players. The window closed. A lot of fans were disappointed, but a lot of fans also, that's when I started to see things turn because that's when I started to see the fan base change their minds on what they wanted. The same people who said that it was absolutely necessary for us to sign a forward player at the end of the window when it shut turned around and told us it was an 8 out of 10 window. Copium. That was when the mask, I think, started to slide concerning the fan base. Also, that's when the mask started to slide concerning the Cronkies as well. Because before, we knew we were signing because we were not getting the top four that we needed. Now that we were really close to winning, it was doing big signings was going to be a real indicator on whether they were going to rest on their laurels and act like if we actually won anything or push ahead and get that title. They decided to rest on their laurels and make a profit in the summer. The summer transfer window was extremely disorganized. We signed a cup-tied goalkeeper that we haven't played in the cups, and Raheem Sterling was a last-minute loan and only happened because of the tension in the Chelsea situation. So it felt underwhelming. We have started to regress as a football club. There are a lot of people blaming the season on injuries and saying that it's just not our season, we're unlucky, but I disagree with that notion. The fan base, everyone knew that Saka was getting run into the ground. We all knew Jesus was injury prone. We all knew that Ben White was getting run into the ground. We know that our centre backs are getting run into the ground. Saliba played every minute of every game in the Premier League last season. We knew this, and we knew we needed reinforcements, and we knew we needed to act. We did not sign the players that we knew we needed. It's not a coincidence that our season's completely riddled with injuries. It is negligence. It is Arteta's fault and the club's fault we are going through this injury crisis without any cover. This didn't happen on accident. If your friend leaves his front door unlocked for an entire year, and you keep warning him, and you keep telling him, if you don't lock your doors, you will get robbed, and then he eventually gets robbed, It's not a coincidence and it's not a disaster and he's not just unlucky. It is negligence and he should have done something about it. That's how I feel about the injury situation at Arsenal Football Club. Before the season started, you ask most fans. Most of the fans said, we don't even need a major trophy. All we needed was to know that we're not regressing, we're challenging for the major cups, but we win something, whether it be the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. Or serious questions needs to be asked of ownership and the manager. We are out of the FA Cup. We are 2-0 down against Newcastle for the Carabao Cup, and with our current form, it's extremely unlikely we go to St. James's Park and win. It's not happening. We are lagging behind in the title race, and we don't look like we're going to win anything in the season. The same individuals who have said that they will be holding the club accountable have now backtracked and said it's just not our year, and it's okay. We'll get it again next season. And this is a narrative I've been seeing around. Maybe because I'm new here and I haven't seen the players and the teams of yesteryear, that I don't know that this is something that just happens with Arsenal Football Club. And maybe because I'm new, I'm shocked at the responses, and I'm shocked of the lack of accountability, and I'm shocked of the changed narratives, and I'm shocked at the mediocrity. Because it's not about winning, it's about trying to win. Currently, we haven't signed any forwards in this January transfer window, and it's almost like we're writing off the season. And everyone seems to be okay with that. It's not about winning, it's about trying to win. I want to back a team that tries their best, and we are not trying our best. And a lot of the fan base is just complacent. They're just okay with it. They're fine. I feel so disconnected from the club. I feel disconnected from the fan base. I'm not excited. I feel like there's no hope. It feels hopeless. I keep hearing things like, back Arteta, I will back Arteta to the end. To the end of what? Where is the line? I have fought. I've been having arguments with I had so many arguments with people concerning Arteta, backing the manager, saying, stop telling us to get rid of Arteta. But when the manager has shown that he's regressing and he cannot win, it's time to move on. Asking Arteta to win a league title that Arsenal Football Club has not won in over 20 years, it's actually kind of unreasonable. To ask a new manager to do that has not won before, it's actually unreasonable. It's unreasonable to ask Arteta to win a Champions League that he has never won and that the football club has never won. We need experience. The club has dug itself out of a hole, and now that they're out of the hole, they need to push on. The Cronkies need to show that when we're close to the finish line, that they will sign big players and get us the things that we need to win. But there isn't a demand for that in the fan base. There isn't a demand for that in the dress. There isn't a demand for that. I think the Cronkies are pretty happy with where they are. I think if we start slipping out of top 4, that's when they'll act. And I think the fan base is just happy to challenge, and they're not willing to let Arteta go because they love Arteta more than the club. They love the players more than they love the club. They're not saying that this isn't good enough. This is just a therapy session for me. I just need to get some things off my chest. I don't really care if everyone hates it, and I don't care if it gets disliked to oblivion, and I don't really care if no one watches it either. I just needed to get this off my chest. I fell in love with the club, and I feel like, am I seeing its true colors?